a couple of days ago, and I know a ton of people are curious about the lore of this mod. So let's go ahead and go over each of the characters and the backstory that's involved with this mod. Now, before we can get into this mod, we need to talk about the first Big Brother mod and kind of the backstory there. So first and foremost, we learned that Big Brother was actually killed at one time by being shot through the heart. Now, at the time of that mod, we didn't know who actually did it. All we did know was that he was brought back to life by Daddy Dearest, which seems very much out of character because Daddy Dearest is kind of a jerk. But we also learned that by being brought back to life, Boyfriend's brother is able to see the dead and his eyes are now white instead of black because that's apparently a side effect of being brought back to life. Now, in the first mod, we also see that Boyfriend and his big brother have a very good relationship and that Big Bro will basically do anything to make sure that his little brother is happy. And that's an important detail because it kind of ties into this mod. With that said, we can go ahead and fast forward to the 2.0 mod where we're introduced to Boyfriend's brother again, but this time he seems to be very anxious and he's sitting at home by himself. He calls Boyfriend to come over because he says he needs some company because apparently the ghosts are coming out in droves this time, but they're not actually trying to harm him, they're actually trying to warn him about something. It seems that Big Brother has been seeing images of the man who shot him before around town, and the ghosts are even trying to tell him that the man is coming back. And this is the first time that we get a hint as to the identity of the person who shot Big Brother, because Big Brother even says, what if that angel freak tries to kill me again? Now, as the mod continues to progress, we are actually introduced to the angel himself, and he seems to have no name, and there's actually some lore behind that fact, because I know a lot of people want this guy to have a name, but sorry, it's not gonna happen. So to sum the lore up, basically not all angels are actually given names. Even when you go back to the Bible, only a handful of angels are actually named, and most of their names refer back to God in some way. Two very good examples will be Gabriel and Michael. Gabriel's name means God is my strength, while Michael's name means who is like God. And if you're religious, you know that these names were basically passed down to these angels from God based off the deeds that they perform. Now, this is where this mod gets a little bit interesting because the fact that this angel doesn't have any name kind of implies that either he hasn't committed any deeds that are worth being named for, or he's some type of fallen angel, which we get to learn more about as we get deeper into the mod. As the unnamed angel continues to speak, we learn that the person that he was actually trying to kill when he shot Big Brother was actually Girlfriend. He describes her as being the succubus. It seems that this fallen angel believed that if he was able to take out Girlfriend, he would be doing some good in the world and maybe that would give him a place in heaven. But what he actually ended up doing was killing a innocent person, being Big Brother, and basically condemning himself to never be accepted back in heaven and to never be given a name. It seems that Girlfriend had been receiving some weird messages from this guy, aka the fallen angel, for a while, and she eventually called Boyfriend and Big Brother to kind of meet up with her so they could kind of talk about what was going on, and instead Big Brother ends up being the one who gets shot. One fact that really stands out about Big Brother and why he's definitely one of my favorite mod characters is that even after he's shot and he dies, he still doesn't have any regret about taking the bullet for Girlfriend. He knows that Boyfriend loves Girlfriend and all he cares is that his little brother is happy. He doesn't care that Girlfriend's a demon or a succubus or whatever. He just wants his little brother to be happy. So he gladly puts his life on the line to ensure that that happens. Now, this is where Daddy Dearest comes into play, because while Girlfriend obviously called Boyfriend and then by proxy Big Brothers, he also included her dad in there, of course. But Daddy Dearest gets there once everything has already happened, so once Big Brother is already shot. The reason that he actually brings Big Brother back to life isn't because he loves him or because he wants to be a good person. He brings Big Brother back to life because he hates Boyfriend and he doesn't want to be indebted to him. He doesn't want to owe him anything. So to sum this up, it seems that the fallen angel tried to kill Girlfriend because he thought that if he could kill a demon, he would be brought into heaven and would be given a name. But what happened instead is that he killed an innocent bystander, which basically ensured that he would never be brought back into heaven and he'll forever be a fallen angel. And personally, I think this is why he only has one wing. I think it's supposed to be symbolic of the fact that he will never be able to fly again, or in the more literal sense, he'll never be able to make it back to heaven. Now that we've gone over the lore of this mod, let's go over some fun facts about Boyfriend's brother, because he actually has a fully fleshed out backstory and is a very interesting character. First thing is that Big Brother is 25 5 years old, meaning that he's 6 years older than Boyfriend. And something that popped up in the files is that his name may actually be Michael, and that is very interesting for a couple of reasons. This mod deals with a fallen angel who has basically become so obsessed with killing this demon, aka girlfriend, that he has lost his way and basically ensured that he will never make his way into heaven. And I don't think it's coincidence that Boyfriend's brother is going to be named after Archangel Michael, who is God's top angel and basically was the angel who would lead other angels into heaven. And Michael technically was an angel that would fight for good to prevail over evil, and in this sense the fallen angel is definitely the evil person in this mod. But what I find most interesting is that after Big Brother actually defeats him, this angel has a revelation, and he's able to understand that what he's done is wrong and kind of start to reflect on himself and realize that he's made a mistake. And in a way, this may give him some type of redemption arc, meaning that he may be able to actually find his way into heaven, since now Big Brother has helped him get out of his obsessive passion to murder demons. Another fact about Big Brother that you may have noticed in this mod is that he seems kind of reclusive, and apparently before he was shot, he was very close to his family, but after he was murdered, he believed that if he got close to his family or even some of his friends, that they would no longer be safe, or even worse, they would become victims of the fallen angel. And of course, we all know that Daddy Dares probably wasn't going to save somebody again because he would probably have no reason to. Big Brother's paranoia basically kept him from being close to his family, and the only reason that he started to come out of his shell was because Boyfriend was able to reach out and actually come spend time with his brother. And we see examples of this just with the fact that Big Brother actually calls out to Boyfriend in this mod, and Boyfriend rushes right over. You can tell that he just got right out of bed and rushed to his brother because he's still in his night clothes and just some fuzzy slippers, and Girlfriend even still has on those little eye coverings. And this just reinforces that idea that Boyfriend and Big Brother really do care about each other, and they'll always have each other's back to some degree. It's also been confirmed that Big Brother suffers from ADHD, depression, anxiety, and PTSD, but even though he has these issues, he doesn't allow them to actually bring him down or keep him from living his life for the most part. He even has a little cat that sleeps on the sofa there in the mod that he keeps around to kind of help him with his disorders and to help manage his anxiety. And a fun fact, apparently he also uses a cat in order to kill spiders because he also has arachnophobia, which is a fear of spiders. Some less depressing facts about Big Brother is that he is a huge fan of the Sly Cooper games. As you can tell in the mod, he actually has a little doll sitting up on his shelf alongside the Bob and Bosef icons, which probably hasn't aged well. He also has some pictures of his family, and he also loves Cheez-Its, and you can even see some little knockoff Cheez-Its on the counter table there. Another fact that I really love about Big Brother, and it's something that I really relate to, is that he loves to either look out the window when there's a storm going on or when there's just a clear night and he can see the stars, because it brings him a sense of peace, especially considering that his life is already so chaotic. It also makes sense that he will prefer nighttime because, as you can tell in the mod, his eyes actually glow in the dark, and this is because he can actually see in the dark. In Big Brother's original lore, we got to see that he was considered to be asexual, aromantic, which basically just means that his relationships are strictly platonic. But now we have a little information as to why that might be. Apparently in high school, Boyfriend's brother was considered to be a smoke show. He attracted a ton of women, but he noticed that even though he dated a lot and he went through a lot of relationships, he never actually fell in love, and he was just doing it because he thought it was what he was supposed to be doing. Now that he's older, he realizes that he doesn't really want a relationship in that way, and he's just living his life the best way he sees fit. And the final point about Big Brother is that he is actually a bounty hunter, and the way that he catches criminals is actually very unique. He uses the ghosts that he can actually see and that we learned in this mod can actually speak to him to track down these criminals. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here where I talk about characters corrupted in the Pibby mod. Thank you for watching. This is Orsa Course. Peace.